All right. Good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson, the Ringer Hire Show. Let's try this part two. Great Wi-Fi you have problems with, but hey, tonight's show just going to talk quick about why should you hire a vet. Um, there's a lot of good reasons why you should hire a veteran, and we're going to go over them tonight. So we'll be right back after this. I didn't have it on cue video. All right, it is Thursday. Hey, happy Easter, everyone. Hope everybody's have a great weekend. Hey, tonight I wanted to. I've never actually talked about it before the show, but with hiring is why should you hire a veteran? Everybody knows them. You can tell I was in the Army. You can't beat that, right? My whole family, Army, Navy, Air Force, all of us, all of my brothers. So it was a good it was a good foundation going right out of high school. I mean, Jesus, whew, that was a change. 17, 18, going right into the military. You learned a lot, let's just say. And I was looking at I was actually able to find my yearbook, and I was stationed at Fort Knox for about 2.5 years, and then I went over to South Korea for the remaining year and a half up on the DMZ, and then I was with tanks. We just blew things up. But I remember getting home, and now, after 4 years, you're like, whoa, what do you do? Or where do you go? Where do you go to work? I was in the military. I blew up things with tanks. What kind of skills did I have? And so, I got into manufacturing and supervision and management throughout my whole career. And I credit the military for that. No matter what position I've been in, I don't know why it makes you lose your hair, but with management, you want to try to just, you learn and you grow. And there's a lot of reasons why veterans, I was doing some research on it today. I'm thinking, well, let me just talk about myself, right? A lot of reasons why for veterans, accelerated learning, right? Listen, new skills, you can learn it so fast. Being a veteran, you just learn adaptability. You change. You just change fast. You make decisions fast. That was some of the stuff that you did in the military. So that really helps you on the outside when you came to the civilian life. It didn't matter. You could be in a certain situation, but bam, you knew right what to do and changed with the times. The other one that I see a lot about is leadership. God, you at that age, you were really just thrown into drill sergeants yelling at you, platoon sergeants, everything. Your whole career in the military, you had to listen. You had to do what you were told, and it was a lot different, compared to civilian life. When you got out of there, you realized that a lot of your skills were leadership. They lead by example. That's one of the main ones, right? Veterans do. There's through direction, delegation, right? Organization, OCD to a T, OCD. That's just everything had to be dress right in the right place at the right time. You didn't second guess yourself because you were constantly being, checked on constantly. They were coming on, surprise inspection. So you were always ready. So some of those skills, again, lead by example. Let's see, delegation and motivation. I mean, it was just part of the skills that you learned within the military. That was it. So when you got out, you realized that that was one of your good skills that you could have. The next one was teamwork. Listen, teamwork, veterans know a lot about teamwork because it was the only way that you could get things done. You had to work together as a team. And you talk about diversity, between the diversity, inclusion, and action with veterans side by side, regardless of diverse race, gender, geographic origin, ethnic background, religion, economic status, mental, physical. Uh, think about that. It didn't matter who you worked with; it was your team. You know how to work with a team, and with diversity the way it is today, that was a really strong value, I believe. So really think about that when you're hiring a veteran. Diversity and inclusion. They've worked with different race, background, religion, economic status, like I said, mental, physical. It did not matter. You had to work as a team. So I'm going to just keep saying it: teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. And when you come into the civilian world, that at any organization, it's the same thing. A little bit different in the military, but you really learn how to work with people, whether you like them or not. I should say it like that. When you were on that team in the military, listen, there was people you didn't like, but you had to respect if they were in a different rank, higher, lower. You had to respect them, and that was just the way it was in the military. So that was one of the great skill sets as you get out as an employer, that you should be looking for this. You know, when you're reading their resume, talk to them about their military, what they did. The other one is efficient performance under pressure. Like I told you, I mean, you had a job to do and you got it done, and you did what it took to get it done. So in today's world, when you have a deadline with a project, veterans know what to do. They know how to go after it and get that job done. They don't care. They'll take the time. They will stay late. They'll get the job done because they know the importance of getting the job done. It's a deadline. It was just part about being in the military that was drilled in your head. You had to get things done on time, and there was reasons why. Military civilian life a little bit different, but there was reasons why you had to get the job done. There was no second guessing. Um, Another one was respect. Listen, respect for a veteran. You had no choice. You learned to work with everyone, and let me tell you, you respected sergeants, first sergeants, master sergeants. Whew, in the NCO ranks, and then lieutenants, captains, colonels. It was just, I got a lot of images back here, a lot of just respect for the people that I worked with. I met some great people. It was insane. But respect, a lot of people don't understand that word. You do in the military. So that when you're leaving the military life, coming into civilian, that could really help you and transition you into really being a part of a team. Again, learning curves you can pick up, the veterans can. Leadership, that's why you're there. Your motivation, inspirational. Teamwork, getting the job done. Diversity, efficient performance, respect. And another one was technology and globalization. You know, it says here, business and industry. I'm talking to myself here. Usually aware of international technical trends. That's just, I don't really read that part there, but it was just that you learned the job, whatever job you had to do, technical, whether it was, you learned it. You needed to learn it. You had no choice. You couldn't just, in the civilian world, you can put things off, right? If you didn't want to learn it, you could just get by. The military was a little bit different. You wanted to learn that process or whatever technical, whatever, weapon, anything you had to use in the tanks that I was in, you had to learn it. You couldn't second guess anything. You needed to know what it was all the time. Integrity. Listen, to do an honest day's work, the integrity, everybody in the military, as a veteran, your integrity of your person, right? You respect that. You want people to know that you have high integrity. It's just the way it is as a veteran. So transferring over to the civilian world, that's a really good plus sign for employers, because you're getting all these into one group of a person that have been through this within about an average of 4 years, or retired after 20 years of it. Another one of it was conscious of health, safety standards, healthy for themselves, the welfare of others. They looked after others. So you could change that over to in a civilian life, in a team, you're looking after everybody. So it was the same thing in the military. When you had your platoon, you took care of everybody there. You had to make sure that person, if that one person was lagging, you made sure that that person was caught up to speed. The same thing in a civilian life. So if you're an employer looking at a veteran, you know you're going to get part of that skill. And a lot of this right here, last one here was triumph over adversity, right? Positively issues, maturity. Veterans frequently triumphed over great adversity. The challenges as a veteran compared in the civilian life, it would transfer over, and you just became a better leader. You just, with all this stuff, all these different things, conscience of health, integrity, honesty, leadership. That's what made yourself into the military. So again, transfer over. I wish there was a way, when you look at a resume, they talked about it here about trying to put more about your resume from them in military on the resume. It could help a little bit. And it makes sense because a lot of employers don't know, if they haven't been in the military, of all these things that you're getting. So, I mean, when you put down on there, if I was to put all these words down here that that we're talking about on a resume, that's got to transfer over. You got to look at that and say, wow. Talk to the person on their interview with a veteran, learn what they've done, talk to them. So what did you do in the military? What did you learn? What were some of the things that happened? Anything like that will really help your company stand out and grow, especially for honesty. Listen, if you're a veteran, veterans are honest. There are some people, yes, no, but the majority, you got to look at it. You've been drilled for those years in the military. You were drilled. It was in your head. You told the truth. You wanted to make sure you did everything right. You had no choice. Again, transferring over to the civilian life, these were the kind of things that you're going to get from a veteran. So that was some of the things there. There's a lot of organizations for companies to go out and go after and find veterans for employment. In Lehigh Valley here, the PA Career Link, they have veteran recruiters. Veteran recruiters are the best ones to talk to because they really know how to interview a veteran, especially somebody transitioning, coming right out of the military right now, especially out of combat, with PTSD and all there's different things. There's military veterans that are disabled that are looking for work, that are just as qualified because they just have a disability. Check into some of these organizations. I am telling you, there is a lot of veterans looking for work, and you're going to get a solid employee, if you have a team of veterans on your team, right, in the civilian world, you're going to win. You're going to really see them excel and really step up because a veteran wants to step up to get the job done. And that's one of the great things that you can't find on a resume. So, I mean, these are the kind of things that an employer can look for. Again, a lot of it's work efficiently, organization. Listen, the military was just so organized. Everything was organized from the time you got up in the morning to the time you freaking went to bed. It didn't matter. Everything, your shoes, your uniforms, your clothes, your work, where you were at, did you do this, that, everything had to be done just the way it was supposed to. So when you transferred out to the civilian world, wow, that was a shock because you could really be OCD in the military. Just everything has to be organized, and you understand that. So when you get a vet, you could go ahead and get a veteran, and you're going to know you're going to get some kind of organization skill. So that's another skill. So just because a veteran doesn't have a certain, if you're looking for a job for supervisor, first line supervisor, right, in logistics, listen, just because a veteran wouldn't have skills in the logistics right away, I would hire a vet in a heartbeat because very trainable. They can adapt. They can train, switch them over. And you're going to get all these things that I talked about. Listen, I've been through it, and it's helped me through my career, through all the years. It just has years and years. Trust me, I lost hair from the military has just excelled me in different growth periods of at companies for management, that's what I could bring to the table, and I still can bring to the table. It just never goes away. It stays with you all of your life being a veteran. So I mean, whether what kind of MOS, what you did, it doesn't matter. Look at a vet, talk to them what they do, and you're gonna win. Some of the things, how can you? It says here, be vet friendly. Your company, hire, let's say, display the American flag at all the facilities, hang the flags up, right? Offer volunteers to give veterans chance to volunteer on certain days to help organizations. Vets help a lot, and they do a lot of volunteer work. You might want to reach out, and a lot of companies are starting to have, like, you can donate one 8-hour shift of to volunteer. That's another good thing that a vet loves to do. Veterans love to volunteer to just help people, help the community. So there again, you're transferring in to your military civilian life, and you're going to get that type of skills. A couple other things here. They said junior leaders. When a person just gets out of the military, a young, let's just say they went in at 18 or out at 21, 22, take that chance. And if you have a lead position, work on that veteran to move him up, utilize his skills. He's not going to come, he or she might not be right there and say, hey, here's all my skills right now. You're going to see them, and that's where you need to mold them into the job as a new lead. They're fantastic, or somebody in charge of a project. Put them in. Don't look at their age, because the maturity level for a veteran coming out of the military is a lot higher on somewhat, I believe, because what they just been through transitioning over. So these are just some of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight. And again, commitment, integrity, accountability, loyalty, service before self. Veterans understand the importance of these principles, being a strong team. Overall, hire a vet, and I think you're really going to be successful. So on that note, it's a short show tonight, but reach out to some local organizations, and you can Google vet American Legions. Go down to some of your local American Legions, right? Put some posters up there. They're all around American Legions, and that you're looking to hire vets, and you're going to win. So on that note, we will be back on probably Saturday, but everybody have a great Easter, and talk to you soon.